The permanent address, every DV winner needs it. Hi guys, yes, let's discuss this in this video. The permanent address. This address, every DV winner needs it before filling the DS260 form. This is one of the requirements that you need before filling the DS260 form. The permanent address is an address in the United States, and that address is the address that all of your documents while in the United States can be shipped to or sent to, especially before you obtain your address. At the time you are checking for the results, majority of the DV winners may not be having the permanent address unless you are changing the status. If you're going through adjustment of status, then it means you're already in the US and there is an address that you use to receive your documents. That is the address that you will use in that case. But all of the winners outside of the US, they might not be having the permanent address. You might find only a very small number of selectees, if there is any, having an address in the US, maybe because of the business they are doing there, or because they have a relative there, or because they have a parent, or such cases. But most of the selectees, they don't have this permanent address. The permanent address can be given to you by anyone residing in the US, be it a US citizen or a legal permanent resident. They can give you the permanent address. And it's just an address. They just give you their address, the address that they use for you to use to receive your documents. And by someone giving you his or her address to use as the place where to receive your documents, that person becomes your host. Get it? The host is simply the person that has issued you an address in the US for you to use as the point where you will receive your documents from, where the US government will be sending the documents to. That person is your host. Your host is not the person that sponsors you financially or gives you a place to live. The correct definition is the person providing the address to host your document, to host everything that needs to be sent to you once you are in the United States. Remember that every document that you get before you obtain your own permanent address will be sent to this host's address. And when filling the DS260 form, there is a point where you must fill the permanent address, and without which you cannot fully fill your DS260 form and submit. So before you fill your DS260 form, you have to obtain this permanent address, someone in the US to give you an address for the permanent address. And it is very important because remember, your social security card, which you get within a week of landing, will be sent to that address. So you need it. And everyone must have that permanent address. And that's why it is a requirement in the DS260 form. Now, having understood all about that, let's come to the critical question: changing the host changing the permanent address. It is possible to change the permanent address, and there are various places, 3 places where you can do these changes. Remember, the one providing your address might decide to end, and you will need another person to give you the permanent address, or you will need another permanent address. And if you are that person, know that you can change this. The first place where you can change the permanent address is by unlocking the DS260 form if you have submitted, and then update it with the current permanent address that you have. By unlocking, requesting KCC to unlock for you to update the permanent address with what you have. The other place that you can change, where you can change it, is at the embassy during the interview. During the interview, when you are submitting your DS260 form, your documents, you can request them to make the changes, and you change the permanent address with the one that you have. So you can do it during the interview. Change it during the interview. And I normally tell my viewers that the best practice to do is to do it at the embassy. You don't need to request unlock for you to update it. If the host has changed, the permanent address has changed, and you have the new permanent address, you don't have to request unlocking. No, you just wait till the interview date and then do the changes over there. Now, let's come to the final place. The final place where you can change this permanent address is after you've become successful and you have exited your country and you are at the point of entry to the United States. At that point of entry, you can submit your new permanent address and replace the former one that you had. You can change it at the point of entry. So those are the points at which you can change your permanent address, or the place where you can change the permanent address. So thank you guys. I know you've grasped 1 or 2 regarding the permanent address and how important it is. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and push the notification bell on for more awesome contents like this one. And also like the video, share with your friends. Let's meet in the next episode.